Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. On this way too early Monday morning, it is 5:30 a.m. and I have to hit the road. Got to be down in the country early this morning to take care of some business. But of course, just because I got stuff to do does not mean that taking care of you ends, because we must take care of all you great fans out there. So we sit here 73 days, 14 hours, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds away from kickoff of the 2029 season. We are now inside of a month before training camp, guys. It's less than 5 weeks away. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it. Oxnard, the Dallas Cowboys charter flight, will be getting there on the 25th. First day of practice or opening of training camp is the 26th. And the season's coming. The worst of the offseason has passed us. But the questions still remain for the Dallas Cowboys, and I feel like it's the same problem and question that has plagued the Dallas Cowboys for many, many years. And that is, the Cowboys have a depth problem. That problem we have seen over and over again, from back in Tyron Smith being injured and us going to Chaz Green. The Cowboys always have a great starting lineup, which is one of the reasons why the Cowboys usually start the season off playing really, really well. But the problem is they get hit a couple of places. We saw it in the past when Sean Lee went down, how our rushing defense went from 83 yards giving up per game to 180. Like I said, Tyron Smith going down and going to a Chaz Green. Tyron Smith going down to Terrence Steele going to the left side, and Lyle Collins going to the right, and Connor Williams with Connor McGovern coming in. The problem is not the starters. The problem is the guys that have to come in and play valuable time. One of the things that New England, if you looked at the difference of the Cowboys versus New England, during New England's heyday of winning Super Bowls, every year the Cowboys would have more Pro Bowlers than New England, partially because there are more Cowboy fans that would always vote for him. But you'd look and say, oh, that guy's really good, that guy's really good. And you'd look at New England and you'd say, they've got a lot of good players, but not a lot of great ones. Because what they recognize is it's not about just the starting 11. It's the next 11 behind them that matters. And if you're going to lose, and you will lose starters, you must have guys in there that you don't skip a beat. You can't go from one of the best in the NFL to one of the worst. And herein lies the problem for the Cowboys this season again, which is depth on the roster. Right now, we know Tyron Smith has not played a full season since 2015. We're on the 22 season. You must account for Tyron Smith being gone. But yet the Cowboys have never really gotten a legitimate backup for him. We've had the Cam Flemings and the Cam Irvings and the Ty Nsekes, guys that were not starters. And once Tyron Smith went down, you didn't have that guy. We've seen Sean Lee go down and us literally give up 100 yards more on the ground than without him. Than with him. And those are the same two areas right now as we sit here today that are still plaguing the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost Devontae Bold, who was penciled in to be the starter. Leighton Vander Esch, who had a good season last year, kind of righted the ship, but you still in the back of your mind have to think about the injuries that he's had. Micah Parsons was phenomenal last year, but will he have a sophomore slump? Jabril Cox, he's got promise, but he only played a couple of games before being injured and will be coming back from injury. So the question begs is, with the $22.4 million that the Cowboys have, Will they actually get some legitimate guys? Now, there is another wave of free agency. Unfortunately, it's right after the teams cut down the rosters that you'll be able to find good guys that will be, like Stephen Jones likes, cheap. The problem, of course, is that you're bringing them in to your system without having OTAs, without having training camp, without having time to get used to the system. And hence you'll have guys that may end up making mistakes. And sometimes it's more than the talent. It's also about fitting the system. Another one of the worries, my man Brian Green, a.k.a. Cones, is worried about is the Dallas Cowboys offense starting out the blocks under the gun, worrying about CeeDee Lamb being covered, double covered, and taking away basically the only weapon that we have right now, and thinking about wide receiver. Do we go out and try and get a guy who can help stretch the field? Now, people will say, Odell Beckham. Odell, forget him. He's not going to be ready till late October, maybe November, so that's not even going to help us. Michael Gallup will be back by then. But will there be a guy out there that will help? Now, before I get out here and get on the road, because I do have to get on the road here in a few minutes because I got to be down early, let's hear the cow turd on CeeDee Lamb, and then I'll come back with my phone. Okay. So, CeeDee seems to be ready to take on the challenges of the season. Well, and there's no way to know till the season actually gets here on whether or not he will be able to. Interesting thing, yesterday I had a great time at the CSA show. Jalen Tolbert was incredible, loved him. It was nice seeing Micah Parsons. Everybody wants a piece of Micah Parsons, and it's when you've had a rookie season like he did, everybody wants to have you on, everybody wants to talk to you, everybody wants your autograph and a picture with you and everything else, and time is of a premium. But an interesting thing, and this is actually, I had not thought about this, but I met I met a lot of nice people, a lot of great fans at the CSA show. And somebody had said to me that they have some friends in the organization with the Cleveland Browns, and I'm not trying to start anything here or not, but when the Cowboys went to trade Amari Cooper, that when they ended up doing the physical, that Amari Cooper is a great receiver, best route runner in football. And we've experienced this, that sometimes Amari Cooper just couldn't go. We've seen him tail off, and he's gotten a rep of, disappearing. We know that he had issues with the plantar fasciitis in his days with the Raiders. We know that last offseason he had surgery on it in January, which is supposed to be a clean-out surgery, but he wasn't he was on the PUP list going into training camp, and has had more issues with that ankle than I care to even think about. The word was that when Cleveland looked at this ankle, that they basically saying he was one injury away from, being just done, that this ankle is truly a mess. And there's so many times that you can only have so many injuries to the same location that at some point you have to say, it's just not going to get better. And it may have been, this is the rumor, that because Amari's ankle was so bad, that there were doubts about it. And the Cowboys looked at it and said, we got a deal at least right here. We can get rid of him and get some cap relief. We're not getting great compensation, but we don't want to try and keep going and shopping around. Now, maybe they could have gotten a better deal, but maybe it ends up being that they end up inverting, a problem that's down the road, which is that it's going to break down. We've all had vehicles that, that, man, I got some problems that are coming down the pipe that maybe it's time to let this thing go before I have to put a whole lot more money into fixing it. So that is, again, our problem, of course, now. And see, here's the thing. I've learned this in my own personal life here. When I'm here at home, I've got my Alienware computer. I've got 4 screens that are here. I've got my mixing board. I've got my microphone. I've got the lights. Everything is great here. Oh, man, I'm on my home field. I can do wonderful things. But what I've learned is when I go on the road and have to live stream, it's doing it by cell phone or, my other laptop that just doesn't have the power and the capabilities of it. So when I try and live stream, it freezes up or I can't use the capabilities of it. And when you realize that you don't have what you need, you must go ahead and make adjustments for that, or else you're going to continue to lose. So I have to go out and get another computer that has the capabilities of carrying me through when I'm not home, when not everything is here perfect and ready to go. I have to figure out how to do it so that way it is a better fit and portable and able to get in and get out. And this is true not just with me and trying to be able to broadcast, of having a mini studio that's portable. This is true in almost anything. You have to invest in what you need to do a job. And this is the problem for the Cowboys. The Cowboys, you can look at all the talent that the Cowboys have gotten. I saw that on, the CSA show, finding a Micah Parsons, Jalen Tolbert, and guys like that. The problem is they don't go the distance of getting everything they need when they're on the road or when it's down at crunch time. They don't have all the bells and whistles, and they must invest in the business to do it. Problems we have are not new problems. They're the problems that have plagued us forever. And so with that being said, I got to get my behind on the road. And, of course, we're going to be working on the red brick house. We're going to be taking out the back wall and the roof and stuff in there so that way we can start the process of rebuilding, because sometimes you just can't fix something that's broken. You just got to start all over. And I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys being here, and you know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.